Welcome to another video. Today we're going to do a 5-point equitation checklist. So let's get started. Here we have some photos, and I think these photos are from the video and they're a little bit small, and when I enlarge them they're kind of blurry, so bear with me while we go through this. And this is going to be your equitation checklist. So now we're going to move on to some photos, and these photos are from Jenna, and I think they were taken off her video because they're kind of tiny, and we're going to do the best we can with these photos. And I think you're going to see some of the things are really good and some of them are not so good. So let's get going here. Number 1, are your eyes up? So this is the first thing that a judge notices, is her eyes up. And I told you before in the video, you can see that she's looking around a corner. That's a big checklist. Yay, she's looking around her corner, looking where she's going. That's really important. Whatever you do, don't look down after the jump to see which lead you're on. Ride the horse forward and get the lead in the corner, and teach yourself to feel which lead you're on. Try not to drop your eyes down, because dropping your eyes down is going to be noticed. The judge notices where the peak of your cap is and where the peak of your helmet is. If it's pointing down, that means your eyes are down. So make sure your hat is fit properly and that you're looking around in the direction that you need to go. It's really important, because if you have your eyes up, that will help keep your back flat. Number 2, is your back flat. And you can see in this picture here, this rider has a lovely flat back. Well, at least she does on the takeoff, but if you look at when she's coming off the jump, you can see that her back kind of rounds. So we want to make sure that you keep your back flat on the downward approach too. If you'd like to have your own position review done and get your own equitation checklist, send me an email. Put position review in the subject line so I can find you in my email, and send your pictures or short video to thistleridge@hotmail.com. I'd love to hear from you, and my purpose is to help you get to be the best rider that you can be. Number 3, are your heels down? So unfortunately with this photograph we can't really see her heels, but I'm going to say that they're okay. It's just kind of obscured by the jump standard there. Number 4, are you pinching with your knees? Here's where we get to a little bit of a problem. I think she's pinching with her knee because, I don't know if you noticed in the video, but it looks like her seat isn't really solid and soft in the saddle. She's kind of bouncing a little bit with the rhythm of the horse, and that is usually because the weight isn't coming down into her heel and foot, but rather stopping at the knee. And you can see in this picture here, it looks like she's pivoting on her knee, and that means that her body's going forward and her leg is going backwards. So if this is the rider and this is the rider's knee, when her upper body goes forward, her legs go back. And I think that's what's happening here. It's really hard to tell because the jump standard is obscuring the picture here, but I think that's what's happening. We'd like to see her seat over the seat of the saddle and not so close to the pommel of the saddle. So try to keep your seat closer to the middle of the saddle, towards the seat of the saddle, not the pommel of the saddle. And to do that, you have to bring your shoulders back and push your seat towards the back of the saddle, towards the cantle of the saddle, and close that hip angle. So seat, knee, ankle. Your knee angle, you want to push your seat back to the back of the saddle to make that angle more like 90. Your angle right now is quite open, so keep your seat towards more the back of the saddle. You're not interfering with the horse, you're not getting left behind, you're not interfering, you're not pulling on the horse's mouth. Those things are all great, but what we would like for you to be is more with your horse. It's like you're almost too far ahead of your horse, so you want to keep a straight line, shoulder, knee, toe, so that you are with your horse. And you can see here when we do the shoulder, knee, toe, if you take a straight line, shoulder, knee, toe, that your shoulders are well out in front of your shoulders are well out in front of your knees and your toe. Number 5, are your hands in the correct position? This picture here, it's 2 reasons why I show this picture. This is a reason why you wear gloves when you're in the horse show, because your hands are hidden. Your hands get hidden in your horse's mane or your horse's coat. They don't stand out. Imagine if this rider had white gloves on, your hands would stand right out. So this way, your hands just form a smooth, even, doesn't obscure the judge's vision of the horse, and it doesn't call out to you as a rider. Your hands are invisible on the horse's neck. I can't really see where your hands are, so I'm going to say that they're perfect. We would like to see your hands a little bit with a little longer rein that we talked about in the video, because your horse is telling you by opening its mouth and pulling against the reins that, you know what, They want a little bit more rein so that they can go forward a little bit more. And here you can see you're not interfering. Doesn't seem like you're interfering with the horse, but we'd like to have a little bit more longer rein so that you can get your shoulders back more and get your seat closer to the cantle of the saddle so that you can close your hip angle to stay with the horse. Here's a picture of her landing, and you can see in the landing that her seat is more over top of the saddle, which is good, and her shoulder and knee are aligned, but her foot is still back underneath her too much, and we'd like for her straight line shoulder, knee, toe, so that the weight comes down from her shoulders to her knees right into the stirrups. Right now it's coming into her knees and not into the stirrups, which means she's pinching with her knees. And you can see that her back is rounded slightly. That's very minor. And the other thing that you notice is her hands have come off the horse's neck. So if you contrast this picture where you can see her hands are off the horse's neck to the one where she's taking off, this is the same jump, I believe. Is it the same jump? Yeah, it's the same jump. You can see that her hands have come off the horse's neck. And that's because she leans forward on the takeoff part of the jump, and when the horse catches up with her, she almost gets left behind. You can see that her seat is well to the back of the saddle and her hands come up off the horse's neck. Teach yourself to keep your hands right on the horse's neck. You may even have to slip your fingers onto the martingale strap. I noticed you had a martingale on. Hook your fingers over the martingale strap so that you can hold on to something. So teach yourself to keep your elbows bent. You see, she's got her arms in the same position on the landing as she does in the takeoff. In this position here, at this part of the jump, your elbows should be opening up and your shoulders pushing back to stay over top of the horse a bit better. My name is Laura. If you'd like to improve your riding and training, win more ribbons at your next horse show, or generally like other horsey related stuff, then remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos coming out. Thanks now. Bye. Hey, go hug your horse. Go use this stuff. Go hug your horse. Thanks now. Bye. So that's your equitation checklist. Are my eyes up? Are my heels down? Is my back flat? Is my seat over the seat of the saddle?